Hey guys, let's have a quick chat about how we work out how much tax someone has to pay. We've got this thing called a taxation table, and it's broken up into these rows, and each row represents what we call a tax bracket, and it depends on your taxable income as to which tax bracket you're in and what calculations we apply. When we do the calculations, here's the little formula that we use. The amount of tax someone has to pay, and don't worry, I'll explain each of these words in a minute, is the lump sum plus, in brackets, taxable income minus the limit, close bracket, times the rate. Now, all of these things can be found on here, depending on someone's tax bracket. So, this person has a taxable income of $73,000 per annum. So, I'll go down this list until I find the tax bracket that covers 73,000. So, 73,000 is in between these two amounts. So they're in this third tax bracket. We can ignore the rest of the table. We're only interested in this row now. So how do we find these things? How do we find the lump sum? Well, the first thing we're going to do is have a look at the very start of the row, and that's our lump sum. So in this case, 3572. So that's our first bit of our calculation. Plus, in brackets, the taxable income. Well, that's this bit. We're given that, 73,000. So I'll put that in for the taxable income. Minus the limit is the last part in the row. It's this amount at the end of the row. Close the brackets and then times the rate. Now the rate is this bit here in the middle, but instead of writing it as 32.5 cents, we write it as $1, so $0.325. I stick all of that in my calculator and I get $15,272. That is how much tax this person has to pay based on this taxable income. Now, one thing to watch out for, if your row, like this second tax bracket, has no lump sum, then you just use 0 for your lump sum when you put it into your calculation. Or if they're in the first tax bracket and they earn less than $18,200, they don't pay any tax at all. All right, good job, well done.